Okay, so again, my name's Shane Fozard. I'm a public speaker and mindset coach, and I'm here in Gold Coast, Australia. Normally, most mornings I'm out at the beach, and I was out there this morning, and it was saying no service. So unfortunately, I couldn't bring you this morning's mindset scope from the beach. Had to come back into the studio. And so this morning's all about how to develop $1 million mindset, how to really start to focus on the psychology that's going to allow you to create more wealth and abundance in your life. So many people are held back by their psychology and by their mindset, yet they have these goals and these aspirations to create more wealth in their life. They believe that by doing so they're going to have less problems. And so I want to talk about, what it takes to develop that mindset, some of the myths and the misconceptions that people have that hold them back, and really give you some tangible steps that you can take today that's going to move you forward. Now, admittedly, this is not it's not a silver bullet. It's not like by listening to this scope, all of a sudden tomorrow you're going to wake up with $1 million in your bank account. It doesn't work like that. But at least you're going to be starting the journey. And if you already are on that journey, well, then this is just going to give you that turbocharge as well. And I'm speaking from experience in as far as at one point in my life, I worked in a job. I worked for somebody else, and I spent close to 10 years of my life doing that, just working in the corporate environment. And I didn't have the right mindset in place. And once I started to become more educated and I started to challenge my own belief system, I realized that I was capable of more. And I now run a very successful business with my beautiful wife. We travel around Australia, contributing to people's lives. We get to meet amazing people, and we live a life of design. And so one of the things I'm really passionate about is helping people do the same thing, helping others that may be stuck in place or stuck in a certain way of life, and they want to break out of that, and showing them how easy it can be. Yeah, it does require effort to move past that. What's your business? Our company is called Australian Success Academy. So you can find out all about us if you just go to australiansuccess.com. So guys, if you're new to Periscope, all you need to do is just tap the screen, and that lets me know that I'm live and you're enjoying what I'm saying. Hi from Panama. G'day. Thanks for tuning in. So the first thing I want to talk about is the misconceptions that a lot of poor people, and I'm going to use these terms, I'm going to talk about poor people versus rich people, willing to put in the effort for the personal and financial payoff. Absolutely, Sarah, I totally agree with it. And so there's two terms. You're either in the poor category or you're in the rich category, and whatever that means to you. But the poor people have these misconceptions. They have myths. It's australiansuccess.com, by the way, Steve, but thank you for contributing. So australiansuccess.com, just remove the academy. Do you own a kangaroo? No, I don't own kangaroos. Can't type, listening and learning. Fantastic. Great, Alan. And so this is a misconception a lot of poor people have. They believe that rich people are different from them. Tatiana, hi Tatiana. They believe that rich people are different from them, that they are made up in a different way. And that's not the case. So many rich people start off poor. Do you use kangaroos? No, we don't. What time is it here? It's about, I think about 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. from memory. And so that's one of the misconceptions is poor people, they sit back, they're not willing to take action because they believe that rich people are different from them. And they're not different. There are so many rich people, so many successful people started off poor and didn't have that wealth. And so that's one of the first misconceptions to move past. If you're in the place right now where you don't have abundance, you don't have the wealth that you're after, just know that you're no different from the people that do have abundance, that do have wealth. The only difference is in the action that those people are taking. They are doing things that you are currently not doing right now. They have a different mindset that you currently don't have. However, all of it is learned behavior. And so if you're willing to go down that journey, if you're willing to put in the effort, you can develop a $1 million mindset. Firstly, understand that you are no different from the people that have the success that you're after. The second misconception a lot of people have, hey mate, what motivates you? I could talk all day about what motivates me. A really great question, and maybe I'll get to that later on. Very quickly, the thing that motivates me is to contribute back to people's lives. It's to be an example to myself, to my family, to the people around me as to how to live a life. I don't want my life to be a warning to people. I want it to be an example to others. And the thing that motivates me the most is to raise my standards, to challenge myself on a daily basis, to achieve more, to do more, to be more. And and really be able to contribute to people's lives. And if I can do that, whether it be in a small way, in a big way, well, that motivates me. And it's always about setting those new standards for myself. So hopefully that answers your question. The next misconception a lot of poor people have, and they fail to sort of understand this mindset, is they think that rich people just got lucky. They feel that, the reason why they are so successful is because they got lucky at it. How do you discover your own why? Why do you do what you do? Great question, Silver Ropes. What I'd suggest you do is you sit down with a bit of paper and a pen and you start to write out a list of things that you're passionate about. You want to talk about what are some messages that you think the world needs to hear? What are the things that you enjoy doing? And what are your strengths? And if you create those sorts of lists and then you find some alignment across those lists, that's one way of finding the things that is your true purpose. That's a thing that's really going to connect with you at a deep level and allow you to move forward. Where are you now? I'm in Australia, Gold Coast. So if you've just joined me, my name's Shane Fozard. I'm a public speaker and mindset coach. And I'm talking to you about today how to develop that $1 million mindset. One of what kind of cars do I drive? Oh, it's a really interesting question how so many people place a lot of emphasis on status symbols and brands, and people are driven by different things. Most people will feel like their significance is being represented by a certain brand or a handbag that they carry or a car they drive or a watch that they wear. For me, I believe significance comes from within. So whether you drive a big car, small car, expensive, cheap, whatever it might be, I don't think that's any representation as to your success or as to your significance. I think that's what a lot of poor people tend to believe. They tend to believe that the car you own, the house you own, the boat you own is some sort of representation as to your wealth and your success, or it's going to make you happy. Show us your spot. I'm not sure what that means. What business did you create to be? I'm not sure. So tempted to say we get around on kangaroos. Yeah, it is tempting to I guess, perpetuate that misconception. But really what I want to talk about is that don't believe that rich people got lucky. They didn't get lucky. In fact, probably the only luck they had is maybe in the moment that they decide to take action. And that's really the case, is you can create extraordinary results as long as you surround yourself with extraordinary people. Another misconception that people have is that they feel they need to be the smartest person in the room, and that's not the case. I've met so many really successful, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to get rid of this person. Let's get rid of that. So I'm going to welcome that person to the block party. And so many people, they feel that these rich people have just gotten lucky. However, that's not the case. What they've done is they've surrounded themselves with people that knew more than what they did. If they've hit an obstacle and they didn't know how to overcome it, they would find some smart people and learn from them. And I've met so many really successful, wealthy people that failed school. They failed in the formal education process. I'm glad you do enjoy my accent. Thanks, Alan. And it's not about being the smartest person in the room. You just need to do some smart things as long as you are learning those smart things from other people that have already achieved the results. And so another misconception that poor people have is they feel like they need to achieve wealth and success themselves, and it's very rarely is that the case. It's about surrounding yourself with really amazing people that have already got a result, and then you can leverage off what they already know. So it's really about taking action and taking responsibility for creating a conducive environment. An environment's going to help you get those results. And I've gotten emails all this week about people asking about who can, who's a really good mentor, or saying, can you provide coaching and those sorts of things. And that's what I mean as an example is you want to find someone that you connect with that's already got a result that you want to get, and then ask them questions, ask them to guide you, and therefore you're going to avoid making mistakes and you're going to get the results a lot faster. When it's a numbers game on phone calls, cold calling, what would be a smart thing to produce more ASAP? In terms of cold calling, I guess the biggest thing that people respond to with a phone call is the tonality and building rapport. And so if you can understand how to build rapport, I could listen to you talk all day. Oh, fantastic. I appreciate that. It's if you can develop rapport, people buy from people that they like. For example, if you go to buy a car and let's say it's a $1,000 car, and you really like a certain person, but it's $1,100, or $1,100, I should say. And then you go down to another car dealership. You don't really like that car dealer. However, they've got a cheaper price. You're most likely going to pay a slightly higher price to buy from the person that you like. And so with cold calling, whatever it might be, some people think it is a numbers game. And yeah, you could probably play that card and say, yeah, it's just a numbers game. The more people I call, the more likely I'm going to get closer to a yes. And yes, that is true. However, what you can do, and what you may be doing, is you might be burning your list. You might be actually just looking for the low-hanging fruit. Whereas if you just put a little bit more effort in terms of building rapport and really connecting with people and building that trust, then they're more likely to say yes to you as well. And firstly, you need to be congruent. You need to be congruent about what is it that you're actually offering people. I mean, if you're offering people snake oil and you don't really truly believe it, well, that energy is going to come through the phone, and people are going to pick up on that. So hopefully that answers your question. And so what we're talking about today is about what do you need to do to develop that $1 million mindset, and what does it take, and some of the misconceptions that a lot of poor people have, or people without wealth have. Some of the ones that we've already spoken about is that some people feel that rich people just got lucky, and it's not the case. They put in effort, they put in the time, they've learned certain things, and they've applied them in their life. Other misconceptions that a lot of poor people have is that they feel that rich people are different from them. And again, that's not the case. Rich people have just learned some things and applied it in their life. They've changed their mindset. Most rich people started off poor. And if you believe that a rich person is different from you, you're probably not likely to take the steps that are necessary for you to start that journey. And so I'd say overcome those limiting beliefs. You are no different from a multimillionaire. The only thing that differentiates you from them is that they've learned some things and they've applied them in their life. But what that means as well is that you can learn those things and start to apply them as well. So the other tip that we're talking about is to change your environment. So find someone in your environment, or invite someone into your environment that knows more than you, that has achieved the results that you want to achieve. Ask them to mentor you. Ask them to, I'm not sure what a black card means. Ask them to mentor you, ask them to coach you, and therefore you're going to get faster results. I can tell you, I'm having lunch today with one of my peers, a guy that I really respect, and he's such a generous person. He travels around the world, international speaker, runs multiple brands, is a $1 million sort of businessman. And every time I spend time with him, I learn all these new things, and we share hints and tips. And that's what I mean. That's the example that you need to create those opportunities in your life where you're around people that are playing life at a higher level than you. And it's going to help you step up to the next level. Another misconception a lot of poor people believe is that they believe that it's the vehicle, not the driver. So many poor people think, take inspiration from others. Absolutely, Sarah. Exactly. How long did it take you to get to where you are today? Well, I've been developing my business. I've been running my company for 5 years. I'm 36 right now, so it depends on your definition. It took me 36 years to get to where I am today. I've been running my company for 5 years. And so, was that worthwhile? So many people, again, so many poor people expect a get quick rich scheme. And it's not that. And this is what I'm talking about. It's not the vehicle. It's not the vehicle. It's not the strategy. It's not about going out and buying a financial education program, or it's not about going out and, buying a property and thinking that's going to make you rich, or it's not about just going out and starting a business today. What books would you recommend? I'll get to that in a moment. Really good question. It's about the person. It's about the driver. Rich people know that it's the driver. It's not the vehicle. Any strategy is most likely going to work. Most strategies, most vehicles work. Whether it be foreign exchange trading, whether it be, investments, whether it be building a business, whether it be network marketing, whatever it might be, property investments, whatever the strategy is, selling widgets. These are all strategies that can create wealth. It's not the vehicle. That's a misconception that poor people have. They go from seminar to seminar to seminar. They buy program after program after program, hoping for this one program to just solve their problems overnight. It doesn't happen that way. Rich people know that it's the driver. It's about them. It's about they were the person that had to develop the resourcefulness to make the vehicle work, to make the strategy work. So stop looking for get rich quick schemes and start working on yourself. Let me get rid of that person. Fantastic. What were your biggest mistakes? My biggest mistake was thinking that I could do it alone. My biggest mistake was trying to be a maverick in terms of a lone wolf, thinking that I knew everything I needed to know to create success in business. And I failed so many times. I had, four failed businesses throughout my life. And it was simply because each time I was trying to do it myself, and I also wasn't fully invested. I was trying to run multiple businesses. I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I was looking at people like Richard Branson that runs multiple companies. And I thought that was something that I could do as well. And yes, it is something you can do, but it's not how to start. I know after spending time with yourself and Jess, my momentum soars. I appreciate it. Thank you, Alan. I'm glad that happens. How do you go about identifying that and self-evaluate? Sarah, I'm not sure what that you're referring to is. And so if you could just ask the question again, I might be able to, clarify that a little bit further. And so it's really about knowing that you need to be a certain person in order to make the vehicle work. Again, some of those mistakes that I made is I thought I had to do it myself. I thought I knew everything I needed to know, and that was not the case. There was so much more for me to understand. I didn't realize that it's all about the psychology. 80% of your results depend on your psychology. And if you can get your psychology right, well, then everything, it becomes easier. And that's what today's scope is all about. Again, if you've just joined me, my name's Shane Fozard. I'm a public speaker and mindset coach. We're talking about how to develop $1 million mindset and how some of those misconceptions that people have. Working with someone else, working on what didn't work, looking at the mistakes. So Sarah, I guess my advice to you would be just to write down a list of reasons as to why you think past opportunities or past ventures didn't work. In terms of working with others, it's about making sure you've got the right team in place. I was coaching someone about 6 months ago, and they were trying to create a education seminar business. And it's exactly what I run, and so I was coaching them on how to do that. And they had a partner, and they were trying to do it with their partner, and what they realized after a few weeks was their partner was dragging their heels. And when they wanted to go ahead and make a decision, their partner's like, oh, I need to think about it, I'm not sure. And their partner would take 2 weeks to decide on whether they're going to book a particular venue or not. Now that's too long. That's spending too much time to make quick decisions. And if you don't learn to make quick decisions, well, you're going to miss out on opportunities. And so this person had to decide whether that partner was the right person or not. They were emotionally invested because they liked that person, and yeah, they're a good person, but were they an effective business partner? In my opinion, no, they weren't. It was holding back this person's progress. And so it's about making sure that you have the right people in your team, and know that you need to be having that responsibility to fire people. You need to fire people from your team if they're not the right person for you. You need to cut your losses very quickly. Otherwise, you're going to go through these frustrations and you're not going to get the results that you want. So it's about surrounding yourself with people that are achieving outstanding results, and therefore that's going to lift you to a higher level. It's going to help you achieve outstanding results yourself. So hopefully that helps, Sarah. So we're talking about some of the misconceptions that people have. We're talking about that. So poor people believe it's the vehicle. It's not the vehicle. Rich people know that it's, I think that's what I was looking for. Good answer. I'm glad that could help. Rich people know it's not the vehicle, it's the person, it's the driver. And so you need to start with yourself. The first thing you need to realize is that you are no different from rich people. You just haven't learned certain things and you just haven't put them into practice. And sounds like my company takes 3 months just to decide to turn the lights on. Absolutely, Dr. Neil. You just cannot run a company effectively if you've got too many cooks in the kitchen, so to speak, and you cannot make simple decisions quickly. And one of the things that I've been running a company for 5 years now, and we keep our structure very lean. We don't have too many people that are involved in making the strategic decisions. It's basically myself and my wife, and we're the ones that make the decisions. A number of reasons. One, it cuts down on employee costs. We don't have a lot of employees. Number two, we're very nimble and we're very quick at being able to make decisions. We can make things happen very, very quickly because it's just myself and my wife, they're the main directors. As long as we're on board, as long as we decide certain things, we can move forward. And so that allows us to capitalize on opportunities when they present themselves very quickly. Now, admittedly, if you're running a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar company and you've got a board of directors, and you've got a large management structure, well, then, you do need to maybe, run meetings and do different things. However, I guess what I'm talking to you about is if you are a sole trader right now, or if you're a business owner, or you're an employee and you're thinking about making that step, well, just know that you want to be able to make decisions quickly. You want to make them, you want to make a lot of those decisions so you can capitalize on those opportunities. So guys, let me know that you're still there. Just tap the screen, send me some love hearts. Is this all making sense? Just tap the screen, let me know. Fantastic, I can see some love hearts appearing now. If you have any questions about, some financial challenges that you're facing, or you've got some questions, just, feel free to ask them in the bottom there. Thank you, Silver Ropes. Thank you, Alan. So one of the other things to really help you develop that $1 million mindset is to change your story. The reason why people are unable to create wealth in their life, I'm glad you're enjoying this, Helen, thank you. The reason why people aren't able to create wealth in their life is because they've got a story that they tell themselves that isn't working for them. Fear of success, as an example, Alan, fear of success. Hard to tap the screen and shave head at the same time. What if it wasn't, Steve? Okay, and so it's about changing that story, and we tell ourselves certain stories, and most people's story about money has been picked up from their parents, has been picked up from their upbringing. What I'd say to you is forget 50% of what your parents have taught you. 50% of what your parents instilled within you is no longer relevant in today's world. They were not around, you weren't being brought up when you had all these opportunities that were available to you right now. We're in the information age. Yes, I can't fathom even making 40,000K. Well, I can tell you, Silver Ropes, that's the change you need to make. You need to move past that story that you keep telling yourself, like, I can't make this, it's too hard, I don't know how. You need to change that mindset. And if you don't know how to change that mindset, please contact me. Let me help you. Go to ShaneFozard.com, contact me, because that's the sort of stuff you need to move through. And it is easy to do so as long as you are willing to, put in the effort to get the results. And it's that mindset. You need to change the story. Shane's success story will inspire you. Thank you, Alan. You need to change the story. You need to forget 50% of what your parents told you about. You are in a new age. We're in the information age. You have opportunities every single day that are in front of you. It's just that you probably are A, not recognizing them, and B, you don't even know how to take action on them. And that's what I mean by getting people into your environment that can show you how easy it is for you to start to change your mindset and start to, take steps on that journey to create more wealth and abundance in your life. And one thing I'd say to you is you need to create a new story. You need to create a new story, which is, my life, the next 10 years, the next 5 years, the next 3 years, my new story is going to be the rags to riches. My new story is going to be the phoenix that rises from the flames. You need to find a new story. You need to fall in love with that story. You need to fall in love with it because there are going to be days where the universe is going to test your resolve, and it's going to say, are you going to give up or are you going to keep pushing on? And you need to fall in love with the story so you keep pushing on. So many people value money in their life. I'm sure you value money, much like you probably value health, but you probably eat the wrong foods. You probably value money. Phoenix is yours. Yeah, okay, Steve. You might want to trademark that. And so so many people value health, but they eat the wrong food. So many people value money, but they spend it all. So many people value relationships, but they don't take the time to really develop those relationships. Money creates options. Absolutely it does. Money does create options. And some of those stories that people have, which is that money is the root of all evil, or that money doesn't grow on trees, or money is hard to make. And these are all stories that are not going to help you get your result. The money is just a game. It is just a game. And if you can learn the rules and you can play by those rules, then you'll find it's an easy game to play. And yes, it requires effort. Yes, it's going to require perseverance and it's going to require consistency. But if you can put those disciplines in place, if you can create a new story and you fall in love with that story, you want to fall in love with the process, not the result. Don't fall in love with being a millionaire. Fall in love with the story of the rags to riches. Fall in love with the process of learning about money. Fall in love with the process of learning about marketing, about sales. You know, because no matter what business you're in, if you don't respect sales and if you don't respect marketing, your business is going to struggle. And again, it's about a story. So many people have these stories about, oh, I don't like sales. Oh, I'm not a salesperson. Well, that's just bullshit. Everyone is a salesperson. We sell ideas to each other. You sell yourself on the idea that it's a good time to get out of bed. You sell yourself on the idea that, you know, the salad is worth eating as opposed to the chocolate. You know, so you are in sales every single day. You may as well understand how to get good at it so you can use those skills in your business, use marketing skills in your business, and all of those skills are going to be very necessary in you creating abundance of wealth in your life. I'll be your salesperson if you move me from Australia to America. Fantastic. Well, we run a online business as well, so we don't need you to be geographically located here. But look, if you're interested, you can always contact me. So again, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the love hearts. Lets me know that what I'm saying is connecting with you and you're enjoying it and that I'm still live. I'm glad you appreciate it as well, Helen. Thank you for your interaction. Again, we're talking about how to develop that $1 million mindset. My name's Shane Fozard. I'm a public speaking and mindset coach. If you want to get in contact with me, just go to shanefozard.com. You can contact me there. You can tweet me. You can find me on Facebook. I'd love to help you out. If you are struggling to develop that money mindset, then please contact me. If you don't know anyone else, you don't know who else to turn to, please contact me. I want to help you move forward. It's one of the things I'm really passionate about is helping people move forward and creating more abundance in their life.